letting meaning be given to you rather than extracting meaning from your own path, you are dead. You may be able to move around, you may be conscious, but you will be consciously dead. That's what, like when you hear Christ say, let the dead bury the dead. I'm not talking about a corpse burying another corpse. Those who are consciously dead and don't get it. Embalm and preserve a body? Put makeup on a body? Cemeteries subconsciously promote worship of the body. It's a severe sickness, okay? I can imagine a branch of a tree bending down and dwelling on a dead leaf that fell off rather than allocating its consciousness to new leaves that are sprouting. Let the dead bury their dead. What is raising the dead? Other than getting them to adhere to truth that they may not be able to readily observe because their own extraction of meaning from their own path begins to make them reject the lies they can observe. You must begin to extract meaning from your own life. I don't care if half of your conclusions are laughed at by people in the beginning. Screw them, you're trying. Don't ever, ever let anybody discourage you from that. The more you try to put two and two together, the better you will get. You will learn to do it quicker if you look at your path. What do you think the narrow path is other than extracting meaning on your path? It's a narrow path because it's your path. As soon as you get sucked into another's path, you're on the broad path, and that can come in many shapes and sizes, from sex and drugs and propaganda and all kinds of things to distract you away from extracting and learning from your own path. I'm talking about observance. Maybe you're an artist and you've painted several paintings. You've put them away somewhere. Go back to them and look at them again. Look at journals you wrote 10 years ago. It's all right there. It's all right in front of your face. This does not mean to ignore your reality, as your reality is part of your path. You'll find that when you, I should call it give-receive, re-give. It's one thing, but when you give and receive, you'll find that's where you feel alive. Guys, maybe you're socializing and you see a girl that you're sexually attracted to, and you could go along the path of trying to persuade her to see you as sexy and to consider hanging out with you, getting her to do something. In other words, taking. But if you stop that, if you're on that wave, jump off the surfboard and ask yourself, what does she need? I'm a guy, I know how guys manipulate. Would it help her spirit if I actually took the time to listen without any strings? What if I did that? What if I actually gave her eye contact and let her know, hey, not all guys are bad. You don't have to have sex if you don't want to. Don't ever let anyone put you into a state of feeling guilty because you won't put out. Having sex is only stimulation of the body, which is chemical. It's a detached drug. Remind them what's the difference between having sex and making love. Having sex is body worship. It's a stimulus of the nervous system. It means nothing. It's to reach a chemical high. Making love is where you try to stimulate the spirit inside of the body. What if you actually used your intuition for something good? What if you saw that maybe she's attractive and gets hit on all the time, and all she really wants is some sort of authenticity because it's so lacking in this world? What if you thought about that and then followed through, sat there for a half an hour, and don't fake listen to her? Be direct with your thoughts. As long as they're giving, it'll be okay. See, a lot of people think that being blunt and direct means you're being honest. Just because you say what you're thinking doesn't make you honest. Why? Because what if what you're thinking is a conclusion that you reached because you were in denial? You were filtering your reality. You're basing your conclusion on lies, whether you know it or not. It's a faulty conclusion. Therefore, it is a lie. It's a lie to your spirit. Just because you're thinking it and you say it doesn't make you honest. But if you're in the state of giving, knowing that she is a valuable being, forget about the sex and just think about that. Pretend she's your sister, guys. Or your mother, that you went back in time, and this is your mother when she was young. How would you treat her then? And then follow through. After a half an hour of advice, say, nice meeting you, and walk away. No, hey, can I get your number? Even if she asks you for it. You don't need to create a relationship. There are 7 billion people on this planet. You're already in relationship by being alive. Giving has no strings. Men, listen to me. Walk away with a smile. Don't do it robotically. Don't try to copy the behavior. Have the correct intention. As you walk away, you've given the greatest gift. Wow, that guy didn't want anything from me. Then you'll see it's not a taking energy, and you've just raised her spirit. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Now, remember, I said you cannot give without receiving. If you do something like that, and don't go seek out a girl. This is one scenario. There are many ways to give to many different types of people. Please do not be mechanical and robotic and like a cyborg as you hear me give you a scenario. After you give like that, when you walk away, take note of how you feel. How bright is the sky? How colorful are the leaves on trees? How beautiful do the birds sound now? You cannot give without receiving. And then I want you to ask yourself, what if I took my normal approach? What if I tried to act cool? What if I was strategic about things I said in anticipation of how she would perceive me when I said them to shape how she views me? What if I lived a lie? What if I tried to take advantage of the situation because I wanted a date? Would I feel, and be honest with yourself here, would the birds sound as beautiful to me right now? Would I notice what I'm noticing right now? Do not try to think about what I'm saying right now, because you cannot. You cannot imagine it. You cannot recreate it. This is something that has to happen. You have to follow the path. Then, and only then, will you be able to take note of how you feel. Don't try to anticipate how you're going to feel, because you can't. I'm just telling you that after you give in any way, a true gift has no strings, has no motive, isn't premeditated, isn't calculated in the brain. It happens. Why will it happen? Because if you're in the state of love and wanting to know thyself, you will be positioned into a situation that will allow you to do it. I am absolutely 100% sure and certain about that. Don't ask me how, just trust me. In other words, you don't have to seek out the situation. Do you hear me? If you truly want to know yourself, I promise you, you will be put into a situation where you will be allowed to give. You will not be forced to give. You will have your free will, because that which will put you in that position extends free will. Do you hear me? You must understand, step by step, rehabilitation. If you want to know thyself, part of knowing thyself is giving, because what you truly are is a giver, whether you can remember that or not. If you intend to know yourself, which is a derivative of God, before you can know God, you have to know yourself. They're one and the same.